time to buckle up as we turn up the volume on living, because this is life amplified. We got it. What's up, you guys? I'm Joyce Skala. This is the first episode of Life Amplified. We've got a special guest in the house I can't wait to introduce you to. Let's kick things off. I've got in the house with us today a heck of a dude, Texas singer-songwriter, beast in the recording studio, flight paramedic, student of psychology, all-around cool dude, my peer in the biz and pal, Mr. Johnny Talley. Y'all give it up for Johnny Talley. How are you doing today?
Great, thanks for having me. It's been a minute.
Yes, since March.
Yeah.
And it's been a fun time. It's been a lot of busyness going on, but we're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about you. We're kicking things off with a story in the style of a memory. What's one Joyce memory that you have, Johnny?
So it was March when we played at Moe's. We heard maybe you were going to be coming by, and then y'all just showed up. And we're like, fuck yeah. Like, we're going to have a good time. And what did we play?
Midnight Train?
Midnight Train, yeah. That was a fun song.
I thought it was badass, dude. I remember going out and talking about it, and then I remember just standing in the parking lot throwing down, like, just a little bit of the beat of it, and y'all were like, oh, I could do that.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, we could do that. And I was like, sweet. Let's got this. We got this.
That was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah, y'all hung out for a while, too.
It was hard not to. Y'all were fun dudes.
That was a good time.
There is something to be said for impromptu playing.
Absolutely.
And that's why everybody should just show up at people's shows and jump on stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ain't cool unless you just show up and just jump on stage with somebody.
That was fun. I had a good time that night, though. That was one of the highlights, though.
Let's talk about Johnny Talley.
Let's do it.
You describe yourself as a selfless, personable hippie that cares about bringing people together through music. Tell me, Johnny, why did music stick out to you as a way of bringing people together?
I started piano when I was like 6 or something. And
because you wanted to, or because your parents made you?
So I've always had an ear for music, and we had a piano in my grandma's house, and I would just go dick around on it, you know, but with a purpose. And so tried that, and they were like, you should maybe try guitar. I don't know why.
Like, this isn't going so well.
I think because I was like trying to play it fast, and they're like, yeah, you don't play piano that fast, like maybe try guitar. But when I started playing guitar at 9, I don't know, it just clicked. Like, that was a
self-taught kind of thing.
So okay. You remember have you seen the movie School of Rock with Jack Black?
Yes.
Dude,
yes,
one of my favorite movies.
Were you Jack Black?
Yeah. I learned I learned a few of the songs. I had like an acoustic, like on one note, like by ear, and my mom's like, we should probably go like try guitar lessons. So I took lessons for a while, and then the rest was self-taught. But I don't know, it just clicked. That was the way that I could express myself better than, I don't know, talking. But I've always loved music and grew up exposed to music, so it was just, you know, like a glove.
You're a self-claimed, live in the moment kind of guy.
Absolutely.
Tell us what brought about that mindset for you.
We really don't know when our time's up. Shit is so spontaneous in life. And so I've been a paramedic since I was EMT at 18, paramedic at 19. I've always worked on an ambulance. And, you know, seeing a lot of death and stuff is a very privileged way that has taught me we just don't know when shit's going to happen.
Yeah, that little mortality, gift of mortality thing.
Yeah, and right? Like it's really left a good impact on me to kind of live in the moment and just enjoy shit. Again, like I
not to take everything for granted, or to know that tomorrow's not guaranteed, or
you can't.
You know,
you can't. But again, like I plan stuff, like believe me. But I have more fun in life, and not just with myself, but with friends and family. Just enjoying what we're doing now. I would say definitely my job has had a lot to do with that, but that's just kind of like what I fell into, and so I like being spontaneous.
It was the gift of your experience that caused some gratefulness.
Absolutely, which is,
Yeah.
I'm always self-aware of experiences and how that's gonna build me. So.
Yeah, they're blessings in disguises, right?
Absolutely.
Like I know it sounds weird to say, but looking at all that mortality, the serious stuff of life. I mean, it's like to offset that, right?
Yeah.
Where's
Yeah.
the offset? I mean,
Yeah.
you can't live in that.
Okay.
So you take gratitude, and you. I mean, we talked earlier about a period of loss in my life,
Mm-hmm.
and I look around at like this, for example. It means a lot to me,
Yeah.
and so loss it can cause a lot of gratitude for things,
Yeah.
seeing things just disappear, friends, jobs, family members.
At least for me, in addition to that, like, just getting older and, like, I guess it goes back to fucking experiences in life, but just seeing how you had certain things planned out and that didn't happen and that didn't work out and things went this way, like, you really don't know.
Yeah.
And so that's just, again, caused me to just be more in the moment and just grateful for what we have,
We've learned some about you. Thanks for opening up, telling us some things that we didn't know before. We're going to move into the first segment and get into some deep dives.
Let's do it.
You grew up in music, so we're going to talk about you growing up in music. Let's talk about your memories of being in and around the music scene. What do you remember that looking like back at that time?
I always try to look at, or I try to look at positive side in things, That's how you learn. That worked out really well having divorced parents, because Mom would listen to like classic country, or country legends actually, 97.1. That's not a shout out. And then I'm going to shout out some stations. Then the Arrow, like classic rock, and then Dad was more like hard rock, the Buzz, stuff like that. And so like every week I got a taste of stuff on this side of music. And then my dad and I, we used to go to a lot of rodeos. My dad used to rodeo, so we get a lot of small town rodeos, and they always have bands and stuff. Or we would just go to see shows and stuff. But I was a kid,
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say that that didn't program my influences, but I was around a lot of music in church as well. I mean, obviously it was Baptist church, so we sang a lot. Didn't dance though. But,
Get some of that hands-on action going.
Yeah, right. It was just it was like my parents didn't play music, but music was just such a big part. It was encouraged, and then that's how the piano got encouraged, the guitar got encouraged. So it was something that was available and that I took a liking to. And I don't think that it was forced upon me or anything. It was just right place, right time, I guess. Mm-hmm. Growing up with that really gave me a good platform for music. And then when I was old enough to start formulating what I liked to listen to, so on and so forth, I had like a good basis.
Tell me one of the memories that stick out to you the most.
So, 4th grade. So I was already I was into music. I was playing guitar by then.
Yeah, because you said you started at 6.
Yeah. So like piano around 6,
And
which
then guitar at
obviously
9.
which didn't
Like
go
if you
anywhere.
does.
Yeah.
That's young as hell.
But I remember that specifically. But 4th grade, my birthday, my teacher gave me a Led Zeppelin compilation, 4-disc Zepp.
Well, I'm trying to think of what the hell you were doing in class so much where she's like, I got to get this kid some Led Zeppelin stuff.
Oh, she was so cool. Like she
He needs some lead in his life.
She definitely was the age where she grew up with like the fucking golden age of music.
Would you call her like the coolest teacher that you had? Like was she your favorite teacher?
She was definitely a teacher that she had a good time in the
Bonus points if you can remember her name.
Miss Platt.
Oh boy!
Miss Hillary Platt. And actually she recently passed a few years ago, so God rest her soul. But she was cool in the 70s, I guess. Like she's one of those teachers. But she got me a fucking
You're
Zeppelin.
like, you smell like patchouli.
Yeah. Yeah, right. What fourth grade teacher gives a student like in fourth grade?
Yeah,
like,
they're
Led Zeppelin. Like,
I don't dish out F's, I dish out albums.
yeah, but that seriously like continued to kind of again, not more for play something in my mind, but introduced me to good stuff or stuff that I that I thought was good, and so that was like that's such a cool gift.
Yeah, it is. And look at, I mean, we know you're not in that grade anymore. We know you're older now.
Yeah.
And we know it carried with you this
It
whole
did.
time. It obviously stuck with you for your whole life.
It absolutely did.
So teachers out there,
Yeah.
give your kid albums.
Give your kids good music to listen to.
What ways would you say the music scene has changed from the one you just described and the one that you grew up in?
A lot of the concerts I went to with my dad were like, I guess country or like stuff around that. I remember seeing Kevin Fowler so much because he played at so many of these like small rodeos and shit. But how's it changed? Just social media has allowed so many artists the opportunity to connect with fans and get themselves out there for like $0, or maybe a small amount. Which I'm not saying the social media aspect isn't work, but it was a different kind,
Yeah, it was more like get out on the foot with some paper in your hand.
Yeah, like
and
grassroots, whatever. Like,
yeah, and taping the flyers on the windshield.
Yeah, like here's our demo. Like, dude, you know what's funny?
Put my cassette in the envelope and lick it and put it in the snail mail.
What, dude? Like, probably like 9 or 10 years ago, in one of the first bands, we had a manager, and I say manager loosely because he was like our friend. Like he was our manager, but he was like he was our friend. Like we just fucked off with him, and we were trying to get booked places. And he's like, "Well, when you get a demo and go hand it out," and we're like, "Dude, you don't fucking do that anymore. Like, you don't go hand a cassette."
Yeah.
But he was older, so we would rag on him like, "Bro, like you're so fucking old. No one hands a demo anymore."
Let me get my VHS tape collection, and we'll discuss this over.
Seriously, yeah, we're like no, like we don't.
We'll discuss this over some Hot Pockets.
and I think he went to a bar. And he's like, yeah, I tried to give them like something. It's like they wouldn't take it. We're like, yeah, dude, that's not how it is anymore. But we always just laugh about that.
Get with the times.
It seems like there's so many more opportunities.
I'm visualizing you as a 9-year-old just trying to like run the music scene, be your own boss.
Oh, I had the coolest. What were those things called? Like CD, whatever. Like.
Like the little organizers.
Yeah, I had, in my opinion,
a Discman, and then the organizers we would carry around.
Yeah. I thought I had a good library. At 9, 10.
Would it be like 50?
11.
60?
Yeah.
Rolling around with a binder like that thick. You're like, I got them all, bro. Every one of them. And you felt proud just like laying it open and like folding over the pages.
Yeah. And you know what?
Glorious collection.
I'm only 31, but I can say I got a cassette player first. So I can claim like I was on cassettes first.
Yeah.
Like, and I fucking did.
Right?
But
with the rewind.
Yeah.
So we talked about going back in time a little bit, but we're going to talk about Johnny's very first band. So talk about that day when you said yes. Day number 1 of the brand new Johnny Talley.
So is this day 1 of when I was in the band?
Yep,
Okay.
Day 1 when you're like, yep, I am committing. I
actually remember it very vividly. And so like in high school, I was in, like garage bands, of us just dicking around.
Mm-hmm.
Literally in a garage. And horrible acoustics, by the way.
What were you playing back then? What songs were you jamming out to?
I was doing like
trying to throw down in the garage.
Punk, metal, like, because I love Sabbath, and that was one of the bands I grew up listening to a lot. But like that and the Ramones, I used to love the Ramones, the Clash, and so I wanted like when I was in high school, that's what I was like. We need to be in a punk band,
Mm-hmm.
And so, but it was like literally garage.
I feel like. Is that like, it's either like punk or acoustic? They all like, is it like a dude thing where you're like, I'm coming out with the...
It's either or. Like that's all you get. So I was 18, And so we were talking about, like, when you got in music, you're like, I don't even know, like, where do you go and find a band?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't fucking know.
Yeah, right.
And
where do you do? I'm like, you know.
I did it, and I had so many friends that they were, like, gigging at 16. Like, I didn't do that. And so my coworker, we're at work on the box, the ambulance, and he's like, man, you need to...
Is that what you call it, the box?
Yeah, the box, because it's...
A actual box?
A literal box. And he's like, he goes, dude, you can get on Craigslist and find a band. And I'm like, you can find bands on Craigslist.
On Craigslist? You're like right next to the couches and love seats?
Yeah, like literally. And I found this, it was a Texas country band. And I'm not super big into playing country. You know, I like it, but they were like, we want to do rock, Texas country. I'm like, fuck it. And so I met them, and then I have to mention, we needed another bass player because the guy we had left. And so I met this guy named Kevin on Craigslist. And the joke is, it wasn't men seeking men, it was musicians seeking musicians. And he was the guy I was telling you, we played music like for the last 13 years together. So
he was there at Moe's that night on Midnight Train to Memphis night.
Tall guy, you can't miss him, yeah. And so, like, if I never would have gone on Craigslist and found that band, would have never found Kevin. And, like, we just have had so much fun playing music.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy how, you know, one deal on Craigslist. And I still talk to another guy who's in the band, too, our drummer, Ryan. And so yeah.
What was the name of that band?
The Timothy Hall band, because Timothy Hall was the guy. And we played a few like little things. It didn't, you know, it turned more into us hanging out and
nothing original. This was a cover band, right?
No, it was
original band.
Well, I mean, we did covers too, but it was original.
Okay.
Yeah, and we did like a little small time in the studio, and it fizzled out. But it was like
How long did your first band last? How long would you say you were with Timothy Hall?
Like, I think Timothy Hall was only around like a year and a half or something. Once Tim left, we found a friend of Kevin, Dylan, who started playing with us, and so it just kind of like kept evolving. And again, we're all still friends and stuff now, which is awesome. But it was so fun because it was all new, you know.
Were you nervous? Was it like what were the emotions there for you? I mean, having it been something you'd not dabbled in really. I mean, you had your interest, but now you're like your opportunity is here.
It was like actually going out and like playing, like that was like so new.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, like it was just being with your closest friends and getting to drink and
felt high on life.
Yeah, of course. I was 18. I'm like, fuck it, like, you know, out of high school, I'm playing in a band. I can do whatever I want, you know. When you're 18,
coolest kid in the world syndrome. That's what we call that.
Yeah, I'm like I'm an adult, you know, because I'm drinking Bud Light, you know, and that I had to finagle from the corner store in my band, you know. But it was honestly like I had so much fun with those guys. And again, I still play with Kevin, so like
that's cool.
It was so much fun. Yeah, that was like the very first band. Looking
back, would you say you are where you wanted to be, or you're doing what you thought you would be doing or wanted to do?
I have accomplished almost everything I've wanted to in music so far. I've been given a lot of good opportunities. We've put in a lot of hard work throughout the years. I would say yes, because there's been like benchmarks where I'm like, fuck yeah, like we're playing at House of Blues, which I'm not saying is a big deal, but like that's, you know, there's like benchmarks like, oh, we got our first big gig, we're sold out. Like I can remember being as like a kid thinking about stuff like that and watching my idols on stage and stuff, and yeah, it's like it's so cool to accomplish stuff like that, and but it's all part of the process and the journey, you know.
What's something you've checked off your bucket list, and what's one thing that's still on it?
Putting out music, so actually going and doing the whole recording process. That was a big deal because I remember being in the studio and like having our first like rough cuts and listening to the songs that we spent so much time writing and perfecting, and then when you hear it, you're like, "Fuck!" Like we're gonna put this out. Like like that was such an accomplishment for me because again, just all the work that goes into it, you know, and then of course getting to hear it polished in the studio and everything.
Yes,
it was a lot of things that had finally came to fruition. That was really fun. And then, you know, another accomplishment, I don't think about this one as much, but like getting to the point on stage when I'm entertaining, because that's what you're doing on stage. I'm performing, but I want to provide something for the audience.
Entertainment. You're here to help you have a good time.
Yeah. And but getting to the point to where it was like second nature, I guess.
Natural.
Natural, where it's like we're just doing the thing. It's everything's flowing.
Yeah,
like,
second nature.
Yeah, because I've had the same thing even through work and my job, like where things are second nature, and it was just I remember that moment. I'm like, this is really nice, no inhibitions. You're just being yourself. So that was definitely an accomplishment.
So what's still on your bucket list? What's something that Johnny dreams of doing that is gonna happen?
So
your bucket list.
With the whole recent single release that I did, I've always loved three-piece bands like ZZ Top, Stevie Ray Vaughan, who was mostly three-piece. Motorhead. Like those bands are so fun to watch and listen to because they sound huge and it's fucking three people, And I've always wanted to front a three-piece, and that's been this whole kind of thing that is my new thing in music now in the last 6 months or so. That's the new thing. So that's going to be the new accomplishment. Because I've been in three pieces, but I wasn't fronting it, and it's just a new challenge and everything. And I'm really looking forward to the expression that comes with it. Like each person has to like really hold down their part, because you have to be. I mean, every band has to be in sync, but like I just feel
you need synergy and teamwork.
You need synergy, and you need synergy and teamwork because if you don't, it literally looks like three people on stage, and it could
very
be
disconnected,
empty and disconnected. And so, like, I see it as a challenge, But yeah, so that's like the goal,
Yeah, but you're gonna own that role. You got it.
It's a game time.
It's game time, baby. We're gonna kick things off with this game time.
Did you come up with this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. I'm going to show you a picture, and you're going to tell me. I'm going to show you some pictures of some throwback trends.
Okay.
And you're going to tell me if you would throw it back or if you would bounce it back and bring it back.
Gotcha.
Okay? If you're going to throw this away or if you're going to bring it back. Okay? All right, you ready? Number 1.
You know what's so funny about this? Is I fucking wear overalls. Like
I know you do.
Oh yeah, that's
and
right.
And you didn't wear shirtless overalls.
Fuck no. The only reason I didn't wear a shirt is because I was waiting on it to dry, and I was running late because we partied the last night. And I said, "Fuck it, we got a sound check. I'm going with no shirt."
I'm like, he's proud of that nipple he got there.
Yeah, but and this is for everyone listening. That whole shit about like chafing and stuff. I should have put Band-Aids on.
It's real.
Fuck, that was horrible.
Note to self: keep pasties in band
Yes,
bag.
yes. We should have stopped at Cindy's and got some pasties, man.
All right, throw back or bounce back? Throw it away or bring it back?
I'm gonna answer this in 2 ways. Throw back the one like off, but bounce back the overalls.
There you go.
All
right, you throw that aside. All right, number 2. What do you think about this look? The cuffed jeans.
See, I don't like the cuffed jeans. Well, no, I don't like the cuffed jeans. I like the shirt though.
Right?
Like the open.
Right?
Sometimes I wear my shirts kind of low like that. I'm gonna bounce back the shirt, but the jeans. We're gonna throw back the jeans.
We're gonna leave the tight rolls in the past.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
All right, next one. You ready?
Let's do it. Oh, bounce back.
Super crazy.
Bounce the fuck back.
All the way.
That is, I'm with it, man. Like
I would actually wear those to the grocery store today.
Absolutely. 100%.
Put them bitches on right now.
100%.
Probably have like 3 pairs in my closet.
Bounce back.
All right. Okay, next one. The giant jeans.
Jesus.
The ones you can sneak a child into the movie theater.
You could sneak me in there. No, dude.
I brought Johnny. He's in my right pant leg.
Yeah, I could fit.
You can't see him, but he's there. And then you're just like, I'm here.
That's gonna be a throwback, man. I mean, that's 3 pairs of jeans right there.
That is. Hey,
That's 5
I
for
think
me.
that when you're done with them, you could literally make a pillowcase out of those. All you have to do is
Literally.
just chop the leg off. You don't even have to you just tape that shit together and,
Yeah.
and you have a whole denim
Oh yeah.
pillowcase.
Oh yeah. Or like curtains. Those look like curtains.
Your
Man.
curtains. Okay, last one. You ready?
Yeah.
Throwback or bounce back?
Bounce back.
I
and you know why.
I feel like.
You know why.
I feel like I've seen you in a pair of pants similar to that.
Absolutely. Dude, jorts are, but short jorts like
Yes.
Magnum PI. Like
And
that's,
you have to have the combat boots.
You have to.
And I like it even better because you make it cool where it looks like socks are optional.
Oh yeah.
They're under there, but you're like,
Yeah.
I don't need to show who those socks are there, but you rock that like.
So whenever we played the music fest, and I texted the group, I'm like, so we're wearing like jorts, right? And of course, there's like the typical bullshit back and forth. And Ryan, he's like, I'll fucking wear them. And I'm like, no one's gonna wear these. And when he showed up, I'm like, fuck yes, man.
Yes.
Like, thank God. I love jorts and short
High
jorts.
fives with the jorts.
Dude, you have to. You fucking have to.
All right, y'all, that brings us to the end of our first segment. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be right back. Don't go nowhere. I come back with the second segment. We're talking about bread.
I love bread.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Johnny Talley.
It's a song called One of Those Nights Again. Had the privilege of writing with a good friend of mine quite a few years ago, and here it goes. Try not to miss you. Yeah, take it all in stride. You don't want to see me. Well, I guess you might be right. See other people. Yeah, now that's what you want me to do. And everyone that I meet ends up reminding me of you. One of those nights again. Let you under my skin. Was it a song I heard? I think I saw your car. Just when I think you're gone, baby, there you are. You drive me out of my mind. It's one of those nights again. I shouldn't be here. Lord knows I've been here before, on the wrong side of town. Now I'm standing at your door, wonder what you're thinking. Well, I guess I've been thinking about it too. Now it's too late to leave, right on time to be blue. It's one of those nights again. Let you under my skin. Was it a song I heard? I think I saw your car. Just when I think you're gone, baby, there you are. You drive me out of my mind. It's one of those nights again. All you wanna do is bring me down. let you under my skin. Was it a song I heard? I think I drove too far. Just when I think you're gone, baby, you are. You drive me out of my mind. It's one of those nights again. You're driving me out of my mind. It's one of those nights again.
Hey y'all, we are back for round 2 with my friend Johnny Talley here in the studio with us today. Before we kick that off, we're going to talk about something special. I got a little treat. Mr. Johnny, I got a little treat here. I'm even going to open up this bag and give it the old sniff test.
Gotcha.
That's better than crack. Okay, so what's up with the bread, boy?
Tell
me about the bread. I'm so
as
this is a hands-off
a
situation.
fucking joke. When I was talking to my girl about this, and I was like, I'm gonna make some bread. I'm like, she's Italian.
I got Johnny bread, y'all.
From an Italian to another Italian, and I was like, oh no, actually, I'm gonna make some fucking bread.
My gift to Joyce, I'm coming with bread.
I mean, who pulls out bread in a podcast?
No, right? No, wait. Can I eat a piece of it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna break off a little piece. I can't wait because the bread is so freaking good.
I'm
so
carbs.
excited.
I love carbs.
Okay,
It's pretty good. I made 2 low, so I know
want
it's
some?
good. I'm good right now. Cause I'll eat the
It's
whole
so
thing.
good.
I'll eat the whole thing.
It's perfectly chewy and bready and delicious. Okay. Well, if you ever go into business making bread, just put me on regular delivery, okay?
Got you.
And the next time we have a dinner party, you know what your job's going to be.
Bring it.
Bread, y'all.
Bring the bread.
Bread is good for the soul. You know what else is good for the soul? Johnny.
I'm probably gonna eat some during this. Now I'm thinking about it.
I will share with you. We're friends. All right. We're going to be talking about your journey in music.
Taking my retainer out because I'm gonna
Do it. All right. It is time for us to take a deep dive into your journey in the music business. Bread. All right. What did you feel like was... Let me tell a joke.
Yeah.
Or some free advice would be. All right. Let's take a deep dive into your journey in music, for real. What did you feel like the most challenging parts of getting yourself plugged in to the music scene were? Like you had a point where you came out, you were new at it, but getting yourself plugged in is different. What would it take? What did it take for you? How'd you go about that?
We were trying to find gigs. You know, obviously that's what you do is you gig, and it's not as easy as saying, hey, like we'd like to play here, especially when no one knows who you are. There's a lot of places that will book, you know, new bands without music and followers, but it's still difficult, and maybe at least the places we wanted to play. So we already hung out at like the venues, like Firehouse Saloon, which is going to come up again in this talk. Like we fucking lived there because they had so many good bands. Our friends went there. It was like that was a spot, and so just networking in general, like meeting bands and stuff like that. That was like the first step. But I bring up Firehouse Saloon because that was a place that really kind of said, we'll give you a shot, you know. And we actually played, there was a Battle of the Bands, like so cliche, a Battle of the Bands.
Right.
And and we signed up for it, and we fucking won, right?
Congratulations!
But we won.
Holla, holla!
But we won because no one else showed up, and it was just us.
Okay, give me my high five back.
And like I forget what that's. It was like maybe like a 45-minute set, and we were done, and they're like, "Well, there's no one else here, so can y'all keep playing?" And we're like, "Bro, all we have is 45 minutes." And so we pulled some shit out of our ass, but on a real note, so the networking and getting to know people and being genuine about shit really formed some relationships. And again, like Firehouse Saloon, we had played some other places, but that was a place that was really a good platform because a lot of people went there, and it was a legendary historic place, whatever, in Houston in music, and so that was definitely the place. But it was kind of difficult because it's like when you apply for a job and like, well, you need to have experience. It's like, well, how do I get experience if I don't get hired anymore? Like that. Like
is that catch-22 thing?
Yeah, that catch-22 thing. So we just really grinded in networking, going to open mics, going to venues where you could sit and talk to the owners and bands, stuff like that. And I still think that's one of the most important things is just networking, but in a genuine sense.
Yeah. That's how it gets you plugged in, is just building strong networks, getting out and getting your feet down out there and going out and seeing places.
Relationships. I mean, you obviously have to put in the work of owning your craft and having a solid set, and that side of music is never going to change, but actually getting out there and putting yourself there, I think that was one of the biggest things that we did. Because all we did if we weren't working was rehearsing or practicing or watching music or playing music or talking about music. That's all we did.
It's like chronic.
Like literally, that's all we fucking did. Like, and it was great, So.
Well, what was some of the challenges when you started to get out there and you felt yourself like in that plug-in type of time, and you were getting out there and you're networking and you're shaking hands with the right people, and
right.
The things are starting to move and groove, but what were some of the things that you ran into that you didn't see coming, that you found were like, dude, this is like, I keep running into this, what was the challenge for you in trying to get acclimated and like weaved into the scene?
Right. Branching out from Houston, I guess. Because we didn't start playing outside of Houston until, I mean, it was like a few years in, or I don't know, maybe a couple or something. But going from the familiar scene of where oh, we're playing here this weekend, like
your regular local watering hole scene,
local watering hole scene, like you're so comfortable and certain people are going to be there and shit like that. Then actually having to branch out and have something that you can show this bar in Fort Worth that's never heard of you.
Right.
And at that time, we didn't have music out. We didn't have anything released. And
that's that's a challenge right there too.
That's like, and that was, and until we had that, it was hard. We really had to work on having proof that we're going to put on a show and we're going to bring some people. And once we had music out, that was a lot easier. But that was one of the challenges, actually having a product and being marketable when you're just playing in fucking Houston,
Yeah.
And it's nothing against, it's not a Houston thing. It's just you're in your scene, and then you go try to play in, again, like Fort Worth, for example.
Yeah.
And they're like,
how do you brand yourself in another city? How do you,
Yeah.
how do you find yourself into the music community of another state?
Yeah.
As a, like you'll show up out of nowhere and are you the good guy that showed up, or are you the bad guy from out of
Right.
state? But getting plugged in on a interstate, on a national level, or an inner city, getting branched out there, showing a whole entire, because they're different in each part. You gotta, like in an essence, I would think you have to tailor yourself a little bit to
Yeah.
each of these demographic regions.
Right. Right.
I mean, we had to tailor shows all the time.
Right.
Right. And good artists can do that. Creative artists can tailor shows like that.
And one of the things that we did, and I say we did, it was an opportunity that we were given, and I'm thankful for it. There was a band, Jared Zock and the OSR band, shout out. They were good friends with our singer, and they kind of pitched the idea like, hey, do you want to start opening up for us for some shows? And I didn't realize how big of an opportunity that was because they're not from Houston, so I think they were from maybe around Huntsville or something like that. But they had already had connections around in some different cities, and so not saying that we were on their coattails and stuff, but we had an opportunity to go to other places and play, and that was basically them vouching for us, in a sense. And I'm super thankful for that, and they're great people. They were a great band, but we were able to get into some markets by having someone basically vouch for us like that, because we didn't have music out, so that was something that really helped us in that sense.
Yeah,
to overcome that challenge.
Definitely. Well, tell me a story of how the payoff of that pursuit looked like for you in your life, putting out, like, getting yourself plugged out to the scene, really just taking those trips to those other cities and visiting with those places. How did that pay off for you? What was that like? Anytime
that we went to a new venue or a new market or a new area, a part of Texas, like, we knew, and this goes for every show, but we knew specifically, like, we need to be on point. Our shit needs to be tight. Our set needs to be tight. We're going to minimize the talking here. Like, everything was extra on point because we're a band that no one's ever heard of. And this is our one time to make a good impression, because first impressions are lasting.
Yeah.
And so it...
Can you make a second first impression?
I think you can, but the first one is, especially in the music industry.
That's the one.
Especially the music industry, it's like, the minute you're not performing or whatever, or you're not up to par, like, okay, there's another band who's going to play, like, you had your shot. But we really saw
we're easily replaceable at the end of the day. We're easily replaceable. Yeah, like some artists forget that, but we are easily replaceable.
Someone will do it for cheaper or for free for exposure. But, like, it really paid off whenever we started forming those relationships with bars that said, hey, we really enjoyed you playing here. You brought a crowd. We would like to have you back. Like, that was when we started reaping benefits.
Oh, yeah.
And we've played some places around Texas multiple times, and we're, like, good friends with the owners and bookers and stuff like that, because we were genuine. And I keep going back to that, but making those genuine connections, I feel like really helped us in that sense to keep playing music. So that was like that was the benefit,
Mm-hmm.
And then again, the more you play and the more you get out there and exposure in the crowd, you get more followers, so on and so forth. The more you're gonna, it's a revolving door.
Yeah.
And then the funding that allowed us to put out music. So, but it was a lot of work, I mean, it's music.
Hey, and look at the things though. Look at. I mean, none of the things that are in your experience bucket, none of the things that are in your history, and we talk about those. We can bring them up again. None of that would have happened.
No.
And so you are still reaping.
Absolutely.
You're still, it's still unfolding, and it's all because of those initial.
Yeah.
All those because.
Absolutely. And that's why, like, when I think back to, again, Firehouse Saloon, like, we legitimately loved going in there, hanging out with Tom, Rebecca, Gary, like, all the people that were working there. We loved going there, and it wasn't like we were there just to say, what can y'all do for us? Like, they were our friends and stuff. So
yeah.
Making those connections has impacted the last 12 years of my music career,
Mm-hmm.
So, and again,
so make them count.
Yeah, make them count and be genuine, be fucking real,
Yeah, be fucking real. You heard it. You heard it. So when it comes to gaining traction and getting attention in the live music business, talk about the reasons you'd say having platforms for up and coming artists are so important.
Yeah. Sorry, this bread is like having a platform, and a platform is not just having a place to play. It's
not just a website. It's not just a Facebook something.
It's the whole thing. It's in my opinion, it's the whole essence and way that you are putting yourself out there. And because you can have a social media platform, you can have, again, like the physical platform of where you're playing at. you need to place yourself because no one's going to do it for you.
Yes.
You have to place yourself in front of people, in front of booking agents, in front of bar owners, in front of fans, and again, like it's not just gonna fucking happen. With social media, again, I talked about that earlier. Like, excuse me, it's so you can get in front of so many people like that with like TikTok. Like, I'm new to TikTok. Like, I just got on TikTok like a month ago.
Yeah.
And it's
You're ahead of me. Me and TikTok have not even met yet.
Well, I hate TikTok, but I have to fucking get on it because everyone's on it. But like it's that opportunity to be in front of how many people, like how many views. I mean,
so roll this into your top tips then.
Yeah.
What are some of your top tips for people who are looking to just beef up their exposure game?
It is, and I mentioned again, I hate to say social media because I'm not a big fan of it, but like you got to have a presence on social media. I'm not saying that it needs to be done a certain way, but you need to have a genuine presence on social media and be yourself, but be tactful about it because it is a weapon. You know, I mean, there's so much you can do with that. That's one of the tips, and I don't want to elaborate on it because.
Well, do you think like when people say, create a presence for yourself out there on social media, how do you feel about people bringing their personal life into their professional persona where you wear your problems out loud or you talk about your personal life on your professional page? What are your thoughts on that versus keep that shit clean and tidy, bro?
I think
what are your thoughts?
I think you should always be yourself. Like I'm really big on that. And when we were in like the height of doing our social media shit in one of the in Threadbare, like we didn't keep it strictly business. It wasn't just we're gonna post promos, show posts. This like we posted stuff of us fucking off and having a good time and being ourselves. But again, in my opinion, like we kept the personal, I guess, kind of shit out of it. But we wanted to portray
the drama.
Like the
Well, I think drama is good sometimes if it's good drama. Like you have good drama and bad drama.
We yeah, I agree. We kept it to where people knew that we were humans. We're a band, but we're real people. We're normal people. We're humans, and we want to showcase.
We're not AI.
We're not AI. We're not. What did we just talk about? Chat. Whatever?
Chat bots or whatever.
Yeah, whatever
yes.
Fuck it is.
No shame pled. GPT.
Yeah. I can't believe I just found out about that the other day. I'm not even old.
I'm like, bro, you're not even old.
I was like, what is Chat GPT?
They're like, hey, I need to turn off my Walkman.
Yeah, right. My anti-skip Walkman.
My Walkman.
I had one. But like, I think it's important to be real with your audience. Again, like we're just humans, Like we're not trying to masquerade as this, band that's above people and this and that. Like we like to showcase that side of us being normal and stuff.
Yeah.
But we didn't want to.
Not so much prim and proper all the time. It's just more
Yeah, I mean, like this is us.
Wide open Willie.
Like I remember we posted a video of us. Can I tell a quick story?
You can tell any story you want, babe.
Because I got bitched out for this, and it's funny. Whenever we put out in Threadbare, we put out our EP. I was given instructions to not spend,
like I'm cracking up laughing.
Not spend that much money. They're like, well, because it was like, well, hey, we can get the double jacketed. We're like, well, that's too much money. I'm like, all right, I'll keep it cheap. So I didn't get them like cellophane wrapped. And it was like 10 cents extra.
Oh, come on!
A CD. And so we get the CDs, and they're like, they're not wrapped. I'm like, well, y'all said don't spend any more money. They're like, 10 cents a fucking CD's okay. So we posted a video of us hand cellophane
shrink wrapping all your shit. You got band hair dryers now. They're in the merch line. we have a new add to our merch line. It's the official hair dryers we use to shrink wrap all this shit with.
Like all 400, I'm not kidding, like 400 copies of the CDs.
I try to imagine the dinner scene for the evening, what was on the menu for that night, how many empty containers are laying around, what kind of
Oh, it was tense because I showed up to rehearsal. And they were shrink wrapping, and everyone's like looking at me, and I'm like, "What are y'all doing?" And like, "You're the one who did get a fucking shrink wrap.
You're the one who told me to be cheap."
Yeah, of course I helped, but we posted like a video of us doing that. It was funny and stuff, but I think it's important to be real and genuine like that on your social media.
With achievements under your belt, what are 3 resources that help bring you success in growing your audience?
I don't want to bring up social media again.
Nope.
And to be honest, I don't really know how much social media did to bring fans to us. I think, I'll say it again, staying genuine and real and making real relationships with people, that was a big resource. Because without that, it would have just been us on our own. I think putting music as a passion, and like I said, all we did if we weren't at work was music in some form. You know, if we weren't watching a band and learning from other bands, we were rehearsing. Whatever. Like,
what about access to gear and the technical equipment and some of those like costly features of being in the music world? I mean, those are resources that some have access to and some do not.
Well, some don't. And like, we were extremely fortunate to have decent jobs that we could afford to, you know, if my amp broke or something, you know, have a backup or whatever. Of course, it took a while to acquire a lot of gear and stuff like that, but being able to have the finances,
or to put an album together, produce an album,
together.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
studio time is not free.
Half of our studio time was stuff that we, made playing music, and then our own shit, which is how most bands do it. But just being able to have that, like that, it's, like you said, it's a resource a lot of bands don't have, and the resources change, and they. After you've reached this certain level, you need different resources, and you build on those. And it's I see this, and that's ever changing.
So, what's one that you would call invaluable?
Invaluable is all the friends that we made in music, because, for instance, and of course musicians do this all the time, but having Justin Michael Bell, actually, so one of our friends, get a phone call, hey, we got booked to the show.
That was a shout out.
Yeah, shout out. Great friends. We used to have good times with them. But they give us a call, hey man, we can't play this gig. Are y'all available? Fuck yeah, we're available. We just got a gig because our friend passed it on to us. Like that, having the resource of friends in music, to be able to pass stuff on like that, vouch for you, introduce you to new people, to new venues like Jarrett Zock did. Like that, I think, is a resource it's not an option. You can't do it alone, and I don't think it's right to be in music just for the personal gain. It's about bringing people together. You know what I'm saying?
Back to the hippie, Johnny.
Yeah, man.
Going back to the hippie, I hear your hippie coming out again.
Absolutely.
Your hippie side is showing.
No, it's always true.
It's not your hair or
No.
anything, and it's not the shorts. It's not anything. It's just who you are. And on that note, you know what time it is.
Game time?
It's game time, my friend. It's game time, my friend. We are playing a little game called Graham Raid.
Oh, I have an idea what this is.
But you might. Okay, so I took the liberty of deep diving through your Instagram account.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be showing you some pictures of things that I would like for you to tell me more about.
When did you do the deep dive? I'm just curious. Was it
Recently.
okay? Because recently I went and cleaned my Instagram, so I'm curious to know if this is before or after.
Well, I guess you're just going to have to find out.
Let's do it.
Tell me the stories behind these photographs.
Cool.
I got to know. Okay. Tell me about this.
Oh man! So the wonderful girlfriend and I, we went to the Lone Star Rally last year, which we're going again. I grew up on motorcycles. I love riding motorcycles. Yeah, we had a really good time. We just went on a quick ride down the seawall, Blue Water Highway or whatever it's called. And
So that was in the Galveston area.
That was in Galveston.
Okay.
And we're having a blast. Of course, fucking perfect weather.
Give me a timestamp on that thing. Timestamp that.
So that was first week in November of last year.
Awesome.
We made it a point on the way back because we saw him. We're like, oh, he must be taking pictures on the way back. We're like, we have to pose for it. You know?
So what kind of motorcycle is that?
That's a Harley Road Glide 2011. And I love it. I've had bikes, growing up on and off, but this has been my...
Are you a Harley-aholic, or is this your one...
I wanted a touring bike, and it just happened. I'm not a, diehard like Harley or nothing.
You're a weekend warrior.
No, not me.
You're more than that? Or
more than that. I'm not the weekend warrior that just goes to the rally and stuff like that. If I didn't have to bring a guitar, I'd be on the bike today. So, no, I love riding.
Next time.
But no, I love the bike. It's fun.
What's your girlfriend's name?
Julia.
Give her a shout out.
Julia, she is, oh man, she doesn't get enough credit for the support in like the shows and music. I feel like I don't give her enough. She does so much support, whether it's taking pictures or loading out, and even like the chances when you don't have time to eat and then a pizza shows up and it's like,
gotta love it.
Awesome. So she does so much, and
well, clapping a round of applause for that woman.
So, all right, so something this is so wild how shit happens. So, she went to A&M, and back in 2018, we played at Harry's in College Station with Whiskey Myers. And on our first date...
My kid hangs out there.
Yeah, and on our first date, we were talking about, like, music and talking about Harry's, and I'm like, yeah, we actually got to play there. And so she was at that show, like, we didn't know each other, but she was like... She's like, you had bell bottoms on stage. I'm like, that was me. She's like, I fucking remember y'all. Like,
oh, wow!
Like, it's just, what are the odds?
Yeah, right.
So, we always laughed about that.
Destined.
Yeah, so.
Destined. Awesome. Okay, next one.
Oh, man, yeah.
I know there's a story behind that one.
Yeah, so my mom passed in 2018, and I've been wanting to get a tattoo, in memory, and it finally clicked. What to get. And I really like the traditional style. And I've always wanted to get like the panther, because you gotta have a panther if you like tattoos, I feel like.
Like the OG image.
It's like one of those things. And but my mom worked for a boot shop that my grandpa owned, and so I had to get cowboy boots on it, some roses because she liked them, and she liked cats, so panther worked out. So it's my favorite tattoo. I love it.
Nice ode to the loved one.
That's it.
Shout out to Mom.
Shout out.
Right?
That's it.
Tell me your mom's name.
Sherry.
Sherry.
Yep, Sherry Lynn.
That's my middle name.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's so weird.
No, it's right, bro. It's good.
That's what I mean, yeah, like in a good way.
Yeah, see? All about it.
Absolutely.
Tell me who this little precious baby is.
Oh, God.
Let's talk about this.
Another Marshall amp. I fucking love Marshall amps. God, I do. It's my cat, Adonis, and he's gigantic, and so it's odd. Like, he just hangs out when I'm playing music. Like, I feel like a lot of cats would bounce.
Yeah, right?
Because it's loud. He'll sit on the amp, I guess, because it's warm. He'll just hang out.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it like that, like the warmth of it.
Yeah.
But they do like that shit.
He just hangs out, and I'll just...
My cat goes in the dryer when I take out clothes. If I walk away from the dryer with the door open and I don't pay attention, that the cat is in there, and I'm like, please God, don't let me hit the tumble with the damn cat in there.
Yeah, I did that with my other cat, actually.
Shush!
No.
Shut up!
No, she went.
You tumbled your cat in the dryer.
She went 10 minutes on the high cycle. And,
no way!
Yeah, straight up, yeah. But she's good. She's
okay.
She had a fever, and she was like filled with static after, but now she's good. She's good. She don't go near the dryer.
I actually. I have visualized that experience as like a...
Yeah.
Please, God, Jesus, don't let me ever forget to take my cat out. But you took care of that for me.
Complete accident.
All right.
Yeah.
Took one for it. All right.
That's dryer cat.
So, okay, with cat personalities, is he the kind that is just totally up your ass, or is he the kind that's like, I can live?
Up my ass 100% of the time.
You like dogs too? Just
I love dogs, but with the work schedule, I've never been able to provide a good home life, I would say. And I don't want to dog sit or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
All right, well, what made you go into want to get into the medical, the paramedic stuff? Because I mean, you didn't start out there. I mean, you had your interest in music and everything. So where were you like, let me just squeeze in some paramedic life flight stuff?
yeah, I love people. Like I genuinely love people, and that's why I'm studying psychology, just to better understand people. And I knew I wanted to do a job aside from music that I could be around people and help people. I had the opportunity in high school to get my EMT, and I was going to use that just kind of get my feet wet, kind of see if I liked that versus going in the hospital. And I found out how fun that was, being on the ambulance.
Oh yeah, it's probably more of a thrill ride.
Yeah, a lot of adrenaline. Fire and EMS. It's. I found out that the hospital wasn't for me, and that EMS was definitely my place, and it just clicked. I'm very fortunate to have found that before I graduated high school. So
that's incredible, dude.
Yeah, it's definitely a passion.
I mean, there's to look at to put you in just a physical package. Like you look at your hair and your mustache and you're kicking a tire, you rock the IDGAF look very well.
Yeah.
Right? Fan of the nose ring, I love it. None of that looks like a life flight medic. None of that looks like a student in psychology.
Yeah, right.
They could probably venture off and be like, what do you do? Play like me? What are you in a band or something?
Yeah.
I
literally, that's what people say. Like, oh, you must.
What are you in a band or something?
Like literally, like, oh yeah, yeah. The hair goes up, the piercings come out, this gets shaved. I look a little bit different at work. I'm very big on professionalism,
Of course.
And so, not saying that this isn't professional, but I do like the prim and
So,
proper.
which is your alter ego, the stage or the helicopter?
I don't fucking know, man. I'm trying to figure out.
Which one's the alter ego, right?
I don't know.
Which one's Jekyll? Which one's Hyde?
It is so like. It's so two different things, Like again, when my coworkers see me, they're like, "God, you look different outside of work." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." I've always tried to stay true to myself, and I think being genuine is.
Cheers to that,
where
dude.
It's at, man.
Cheers to that.
So that's
you always, do you, boo.
You got to do you. You got to be real.
You do you, boo. Cheers to that. All right, this one's called lyric or life quote. Okay.
That sounds good.
All right.
Yeah.
So, you can probably tell, I'm going to read you a statement, and you get to tell me if it's a lyric or if it's a quote from a musician.
So, not in my opinion. This is like...
These are factual.
Okay. So,
yes.
Okay.
This is...
We're playing the
one
game.
Or the other.
It's time to play the game.
Time to play the game.
Okay.
All right. So this is a lyric from a song or a quote from a musician, okay?
Okay.
Number 1. Take a chance. It could only make you stronger. Lyric or life quote?
That sounds like a lyric. I mean, it sounds like both. Fuck. I'm going to go with life quote.
I'm going to go with life quote. All right. The answer is lyric.
I should have changed
for the win.
Should have changed it.
Okay. And that was sung by Mr. Prince himself.
Nice.
The preceding words to that are do your dance. Take a chance. It could only make you stronger. Do your dance.
He's a great guitar player, by the way.
All right. Yeah, he is, right? He can shred some shit.
I feel like he's a little underrated. But.
Yeah, right? Awesome. Like, shout out to Prince.
Yeah.
Purple it up, babe. All right, number 2. Lyric or life quote. When it comes to luck, you make your own.
I'm getting some vibes from like something a little bit older, or someone older. I'm gonna go with life quote again.
Bing, bing, bing!
Yes.
All right. When it comes to luck, you make your own was spoken by Mr. Bruce Springsteen himself.
Nice.
That's a Bruce quote. All right. Third and last question for lyric or life quote. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Dream until your dreams come true.
Isn't that a song? Isn't that a lyric? I don't know what it is. Dream until your dreams come true. Sounds like some Beatles stuff, and I don't really listen to the Beatles. I'm gonna go with lyric.
You mean you're a hippie? Come on, like you're. Like,
I really
never
don't.
like dreaming.
It's lyric.
Well, I will tell
Or
you.
both. I don't know.
Okay, it is a lyric.
Fuck yes.
Okay, bonus points if you can guess who it's from.
Are you able to give me any kind of hint? Because I have no idea.
I'll just read it again. That's gonna be your hint. Okay, you know this is a lyric now.
Mm-hmm.
Dream until your dreams come true. I even tried to put a little rhythm on there for you.
Fuck. Yeah, now when you say it that way.
I tried to put a little rhythm in there for
Yeah,
you.
Aerosmith.
Dream until your dreams come true. Yes, that is Aerosmith.
Absolutely.
Aerosmith for the win.
And I do like Aerosmith.
That was
Fun.
the third and final round of Fun Together today.
That was fun.
Tell them who you are, tell them where you've been, and give them one piece of advice to take home with them today.
I'm Johnny Talley. I've been with the lovely Joyce today on her wonderful podcast. And the piece of advice is be fucking real.
You heard it. You heard it right here, right from Johnny himself. Peace out, y'all. We'll catch y'all the next episode.
Try not to miss you. Yeah, take it all in stride. Don't wanna see me. Well, I guess you might be right. See other people. Yeah, now that's what you want me to do. And everyone that I meet ends up reminding me of you. It's one of those nights again that you under my skin. Was it a song I heard? I think I saw